Is my mic not broken? Okay, it's not broken. Hi. I'm back to doing my pendejadas. I have decided that we are to play Bob Esponja games, you know, just to see, what not hee ha ha's. So welcome. We're gonna do this little, just some fan games I found. Some ranging from a website, some ranging that I had to download. I guess I should put on some music, but like nothing copyright. So we got to put on, that like video game music. But what would be good for the cause? Some monkey business. Yeah. Bob Esponja. So I know really just these two. I should probably just warn you from ahead of time that some of these are gonna be sloppy. Some of these are gonna be scummy. Some of these are gonna be all over the place. But that is okay. He has his trunks, he has hula. I kind of like these. I like the highlight on these. A little bit dramatic. He got his gamer gear. He could have muscles. He could be buff. What about los tenis? They said you only have two options. And then we could drip him out with a Millennium Puzzle. Some glasses, a lollipop, this strap. A sword and a shield, I assume. A belt, a tie. I kind of like the Millennium Puzzle. Hold on. And then a second accessory. We could give him the shield. So yeah, pretty much that's like your standard, I guess, game. Hehe. Yeah, that's crazy. On to the next segment, which is called bubble bonding. Got no clue what this game is. I don't know what any of these games is. But it says it's a dating sim in which Bubble Buddy returns to Bikini Bottom to find a job and maybe even love. Is there no full screen for this? Hello? Okay, this one has music. This has no music, however. I guess we'll. Oh, there it goes. Is it me or it's just pitch black? Yeah, it's pitch black. The music is too loud. Bájalo, volumen. Hello? Oh, okay. I need to find the YouTube audio. Ahí está. There comes a time in a man's life or in a bubble's life when he's forced to ask himself, what have I done in life? Really? Have I found a love that is true? Well, doesn't he have a son in future episodes? And SpongeBob has to take care of him? Have I made this world better with my work? Well, you certainly haven't. And it's time to run from your problems and that messy divorce with Mrs. Bubble. Oh, okay, so he's a divorce man. Yo, right? I did not mean to press something. Okay, return. Dear friend SpongeBob, hoping to start over in the new city. I don't know why he's anime, but okay. Bubble, old boy. How's it going? How's that high-paying job and Mrs. Bubble? You politely informed SpongeBob that you quit your job after you found out Mrs. Bubble was sleeping with the big boss Bubble. Oh, no. No worries. Plenty of fish in the sea. And you know, what? There's a lot of great jobs here in Bikini Bottom. Ah! SpongeBob, me boy. You can, of course, stay with me, but I think it would be fun if I it would be fun if I charge you rent, huh? I've always wanted to try and be a landlord. Oh. You need a job in the next week, though, or I'll have to evict you. That's how playing landlord works. I think my friend Sandy has mentioned some help with your yard. Okay. Well, I've heard Mrs. Puff is hiring at boating school if you don't mind driving. Or I guess you could work at the Chum Bucket with Plankton and Karen. It's right near my job. Well, go out and get a job. You got 7 days or it's boo for you, bestest friendo. Landlord, 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 he says. Which location do you want to visit? Okay, I see they got, you know, the art in the background and all that. I guess I'll try Mrs. Puff. You make your way across town to the boating school. Maybe it's time for a career change in the noblest, most respected profession, education. It is not respected. They treat you like garbage. You get the worst pay. As you get closer, you hear a hum of engines and squealing of tires. Mrs. Puff, no, 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 my brake is the left pedal. You hear a terrible crash and sudden inflation. You fail, 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 fail. The ill-fortunate student runs crying from the scene off the accident. Mrs. Puff takes a moment to deflate physically and mentally and walks back inside, leaving behind the smoking pile of metal and rubber that used to be a boat. You steel your nerves and push open the door. Hello, I'm afraid I don't have time or mental bandwidth for another driving test today. Please make an appointment and come back. You explain that you actually already have your boat license and looking for a job, not a class. Oh, well, what can you do? Quesadilla, get out of here. My cat is here. I'm out of... I can conduct espionage operations and build a stand-behind network, achieve long-term strategic offices. I have thousands of hour experience teaching boating to those who've been in serial fail exams. Let's lie our way to the top. Why, that's great. You're excellent. What I needed. You're exactly what I needed. Okay, she looked through her desk, emerges you with a schedule, hands it to you with a smile. Here's the time for our upcoming classes. Come by at the next class and we'll see what we can do. Okay, success. You take the schedule and head back home ready for your day of work. End of day 1. That was a long day. Time for bed. Look at me dripped out with my PJs. Can I go back? You walk to school excited to start your new job as a teacher assistant. Okay, good morning. I hope you had ready to teach the next generation of boaters. Never been more ready to teach. Time to mold the minds of youth and install generations of good boating habits. I'm ready. Oh no. From the look on Mrs. Puff's face, you can't help but doubt it. She said, "Sácanlo de aquí, por favor." Mrs. Puff stressed for real. Today is my, today for sure, Mrs. Puff. I know I'll pass. I certainly hope so. And thus her mood is all bummed. SpongeBob notices you standing in the room with your briefcase. Bubble buddy, what are you doing here? Can't you already drive? You explain to SpongeBob that you are, in fact, here to teach. You're my teacher? Wow, alright, let's get started. Alright, so SpongeBob takes the seat brimming with excitement. Alright, Bubble Buddy, sorry to throw you at the deep end, but maybe this would be a good test to see how well you can really teach. We finna fumble the bag. The pressure's on. How are you teaching the boating to someone who has so far been impervious to learning? Teach him the importance about road signals. Teach him about the importance of confidence when driving. Wait, I don't think. Oh, that's what I was missing all along. I was always watching for other boaters. That I must have been holding me back. SpongeBob rushes out to take the tracks, hops on the boat before Mrs. Puff can stop him. You hear the driving motor squeal. Pedal SpongeBob floor out the boating school. What have you done? He's broken free and countless lives are in danger. The city is doomed. Luckily, the damage is stopped short when SpongeBob crashes mere yards from the boating school entrance. You definitely didn't impress Mrs. Puff with that one. Oh well, there's always tomorrow. End of day 2. That was a long day. Time for bed. You're staying late after class helping Mrs. Puff grade the day's papers. You're not quite sure how these students could get these questions wrong, but you suppose that's why they're here. Suddenly, Mrs. Puff turns to look at you sitting in one of the students' desks. Bubble Buddy, could you come help me? I'm having trouble figuring out what this student wrote. You cross the room to Mrs. Puff's desk and look at the paper she's talking about. It doesn't seem particularly hard to decipher. You can pretty clearly read the word she's gesturing. Stay. You tell her what the word says and go sit back down, but she gets your attention again. Well, what about this one? Oh no. Look over at the new word. Again, it's very easy to tell what the student has written. The word want. Once more, you read the word from her, and once more she stops you on your way back. Just one more. I like to know the answer to. She's pointing at the top of the paper to a word that's almost blindingly obvious. She's pointing at a where a student wrote the date. What do you tell her? Date. Oh, yes. I suppose that's what it says. Thanks for your help, Bubble Buddy. She doesn't stop you this time as you go back to your desk and finish grading the night. You both say a cordial goodbye as you leave, but you can't shake the feeling that you missed out on something that night. Ah! That was a long day. Time for bed. We here to get a job. I need to get paid or SpongeBob is gonna kick me out, dog. I cannot be here diddling around. Oh, okay, thank God. I don't know why it showed up pixelated at first. I was about to panic. You and Mrs. Puff leave the school after class in a real beauty of a classic boat. She keeps it hidden from the students for fear they want to drive it and inevitably crash. I can't speak English. Alright, you head out of the school, out to the neighborhood, all the way up into the mountains, where, you're out Bikini Bottom sitting limit. She pulls the boat off the road and turns off the boat. She looks at you. Bubble Buddy. I don't know what brought you to Bikini Bottom, but I'm very glad you came. She trails off looking for words. We can't be together, Bubble Buddy. Dog, I'm here to get a job. I'm covered in spines. If I were to ever get too close, I'd pop you. She looks out at the setting sun. It's a beautiful warm day, but she's shivering. You reach out to grab her hand. She got nails! I'ma die! You suddenly feel a rush course through your body. The rush of love, of being loved. The rush of something sharply piercing your head. No! All at once, in a blink of an eye, you've died. Gone only way you would have wanted to go, next to someone who loved you. Puff heart, 1 out of 4. Plankton Karen hearts. Okay. I died! Okay, I guess we'll try Sandy. You head towards Sandy's dome. You saw that she posted some flyers around town advertising that she was looking for some hands to help around the dome. You're not completely sure you have hands in the way she wants, but it never hurts to try. Alright. As the dome comes to an interview, you clearly, go through the glass seeming to bear reading something. I don't like this music. This music is like... Me está jodiendo las orejas! I'm putting the volume down. Me duele las orejas. I think I'd rather put my music. Let's see. Yeah, this is better. Alright, anyways, as the dawn comes into view, you clearly see her through the glass. She's reading a book in the shade of an oak tree. She notices you approaching the door, smiling, and closes her book. She gets up and moves into to intercept you in an airlock. Well, howdy, you looking for a job? You nod and she looks you up and down. Well, partner? You look like if you tried to use a vacuum cleaner, you'd get dragged into it. What are you bringing to the table? Experience in mowing lawns and chopping trees. Experience in writing reports, managing spreadsheets in yeah. Reports and spreadsheets, huh? That's exactly what I need. I never liked doing logistics. It'll be nice to have someone around who knows their way around the supply chain. Come back tomorrow. We can see what you're made of. Besides soap. Alright, success. You can't quite figure out why a karate squirrel would be in such desperate need of a supply chain expert, but a job is a job. End of day 1. That was a long day. Time for bed. Sandy Dome. You return to the dome ready to prove yourself to Sandy, a worthwhile hire. Howdy, you ready to start the day? Good. Let's go ahead and start off with testing your endurance. Drop and give me 20. What? She puts you through a series of increasingly intense physical challenges followed by navigation, survival, and antithetical exercises. Now think about this one. If you're trying to take a hill and your enemy's already entrenched, what's your first instinct? What? Use air support if you have it. Otherwise, take the surrounding port side box the enemy, effectively laying a siege to the hill, forcing them to out the forfeits, which are at the end of the day. Charge straight ahead, relying on your bravery. The first one. That's right. Well, you're a gosh darn natural at this. Texas. You might be some real helper after all. Sure, why not? Maybe this will be good for like clearing vermin or something. Does she get vermin down here? I guess. I don't know. Whatever. She seems to like it. End of day 2. That was a long day. Time for bed. You return to Sandy's dome to continue the weirdest job you've ever had. The day has been very surreal experience for sure, but also exhilarating. In your long years of office work, you never had a job that makes you feel like this. Never had a boss that makes you feel like this. Okay, as if you're asleep for your entire adult life, we're finally starting to wake up in what life could be. Okay, Sandy arrives at the airlock at the same time as you do. As she activates it, you feel water drain around you, replaced by a heavy blanket of nerves. It was impossible to predict what was in store today, but you definitely didn't want to mess things up with Sandy. Howdy, partner. Hope you were ready for some yard work. Yard work? You guess that's more in line with what you were expecting, but it feels weird to have something simpler after the last 2 days. You spend the day mowing the lawn, weeding garden, a number of other worryingly mundane chores. Such as... After you exhausted your body and thoroughly broken the sweat, well, as much as you can sweat anyway, Sandy comes up to you with another task. Bubble Buddy, if you're gonna be doing gardening, I have to know, do you know much about ants? You never ever heard of ants in your life, so you shake your head. Well, they're sort of the creatures that all live together in a big colony. And a colony is run by a queen who keeps everyone else in line and makes sure everybody keeps functioning. But sometimes when the queen ain't doing such a good job, the other ants have two options. They can stick around and live under their incompetent tyranny, or they can leave and start their own colony. Now, what'd you think of that? Texas. Truthfully, you have no idea what to think about a bunch of creatures that Sandy may or may not have just made up. Point out that none of this matters because you don't even have ants underwater. Not only right, but duty leave their queen to, prove. Yeah. Sandy's face lights up as she heard your response. Okay, my thoughts exactly. Hard to find people out here who understands. It's hard to tell. You don't even have much experience with mammals, but you could, swear you see her blood. Oh! Bubble Buddy, I'm glad you found your way out here. After, Sandy lets you through the usual airlock, she proceeds to bring you back into you. Share a gaze dripping with implication. What? Heavy with connections only come from a shared purpose, even if you're not yet quite sure what the purpose is. I'll see you tomorrow, Bubble Buddy. Salutes, how odd, and then turns on a point, march back into her tree. You head home, you don't quite notice, but you walk in something of a lockstep all the way back to SpongeBob's. End of day 3. That was a long day. Time for bed. To the tree dome! Have truly no idea what to expect for your next day at Sandy's, but there's only one way to find out. You head over there. Something seems different about Sandy as she lets you in through the airlock. She seems resolved. Something she moves with the purpose and resolves, I've never seen before. Bubble Buddy, do you know why I ended up here in Bikini Bottom? You don't. She folds her hands behind her back and stares out the glass dome. She seems to be only half present. It wasn't by choice. She turns back and looks at you firm in her eyes. That burns so hot it almost dries you out. I was exiled from my true home of Texas. What? The heck did she do? Exiled for speaking the truth. Okay. Exiled for trying to do something about it. Okay. Exiled because I believed in freedom. Well, Texas is all about freedom, ain't it? And how? Alright, I've been looking all this time for someone to help me retake my country, Bubble Buddy, and you're that person. It makes sense now. You can't believe you blind you were before. Okay, what Sandy has made you feel, you love to help her out with anything she wants, and that includes reconquering this mythical Texas she keeps talking about. How are you going to help? Raise a militia to help, send ultimatum to the government letting them know they should surrender now. I don't know. I guess this. Wait, no, Bubble Buddy, we'll lose the element of surprise. Well, I don't know what you want. But she spoke to LaRubyLi. You already emailed your prepared statement of the governor of Texas. You prepared a statement like this lying around just in case. Sandy karate chops the phone at your hand, but the email's been delivered. Now, that you think of it, you're not quite sure why you thought the government would surrender when you currently have no resources, no manpower, and no opportunity. Bubble Buddy. Well, now we really have our work cut out for us. At least she didn't kick you out the revolution. Small wins. End of day 4. That was a long day. Time for bed. So are we fighting Texas now? You march Sandy's dome, eager to continue the work of the revolution. Commander Bubble, good to see you. Preparations are in place on my end. Are you ready? You've never been more ready for anything in your life. Oh, Lord! You and Sandy go on a tear. You start, your guerrilla war in Texas. And it starts off well. I got a gun! You face victory, face defeat, but most of all, you face each other. Every armory raid, every prison spring, every sabotage to the Texas power grid, you have each other's backs. And in the cold of the Texas desert night, your revolutionaries sit in the fire and talk, and well, more than talk. In everything you were missing in Bubble Town, and even in if you don't succeed, you wouldn't trade this life for the world. Okay. Did I live? I got 3 out of 4 with Sandy. Alright, we get it. SpongeBob, get a job. I get it. He wants to be a landlord. Like, he wants to charge me rent to the chum bucket. Her local mediocre restaurant is desperate for employees. You decide to put your years of experience microwaving nuggets to use and walk down the chum bucket. After the door creaks open and rusty hinge, you faintly hear 2 voices arguing. I'm not living in this barnacle hole anymore, Sheldon. Well, I've heard this scrapyard has plenty of spit. The yelling abruptly stops and then he notices us. Alright, hello there. Surely you are here to purchase one of our own succulent chum dogs. No. What do? Try a chum dog is that best. You decide to push Sheldon's chum dog to the side and offer your resume. Look at Karen! An employee, we've been needing some culinary abilities here. Wouldn't you agree, Sheldon? Yeah, sure, whatever. And look, they can actually operate a microwave, unlike some. Alright! He says that's enough. Alright, you're hired. Welcome. So do I get to, like, be with Sheldon and Karen? Is this a poly relationship? I want to be with Plankton. Come up with the new menu by tomorrow and don't be late. Great, a new job as a chef and as a soon-to-be best restaurant in town. That's crazy, man. Alright, we go back to SpongeBob's house and make a new menu. Get prepared for your first day at work. End of day 1. That was a long day. Time for bed. By the way, the music I'm playing is from the Donkey Kong show. I got nothing else to play. I don't know anything else that's not copyright. Let's hope I don't get claimed, but I think with me talking, it'll be fine. You charge into the chum bucket with optimism and get ready to serve your first customer. Sheldon and Karen are once again arguing in the back, but you ignore their issues and get to work, frantically throwing ingredients into the lab equipment. You concoct your masterpiece. Okay. The Bubble Burger? It is a horrific monstrosity of torn pieces of chud loosely sandwiched between 2 of your very own bubble. What? Where we get the extra bubbles? At least it has seasoning. Probably call someone on your cell phone to be your first customer. Who will it be? Your buddy SpongeBob? He put a smile on everything. How would Plankton ever know? SpongeBob's probably busy. Call your old buddy Patrick. I mean, if SpongeBob dies, free rent. If Patrick dies, we have a body on our hand. Bob Esponja. Your roommate SpongeBob answers your call and shows up right away. Good morning, best friend. I mean, Chef Bubble. I like to order a bubble burger with fries. Karen and Sheldon peek around the door in disbelief. Holy mackerel, a customer. Him. Of course, a customer. Have a seat, have a seat. Chef Bubble makes the finest cuisine under the sea. Alright, you fetch a bubble burger, soggy fries from the kitchen laboratory, and then set it down on the tray in front of your customer. Oh boy, it looks edible. Oh no. You hold your breath as SpongeBob takes his first bite. Word, it might be his last. He finna die. Continues to chew and digest bubble burger. Surprisingly, he doesn't die. He coughs like some phlegm and generally looks unwell, but manages to squeak out a few words. This is so good. You deserve a promotion. Quickly throws money on the table and runs home clutching his stomach. He gonna die. Excellent. We never served a customer and have them survive. Holy Karen, I must be dreaming. Sheldon collapsed into Karen's cold steel arms. You consider this a success and return home to help SpongeBob. End of day 2. That was a long day. Time for bed. But is he dead? Like, do we know if he's dead or not? Or okay. gonna get it. Oh. Another day at the chum bucket, you held into the kitchen your shift and heard a surprise sound coming from Sheldon's office. I can't read this out loud, man. Sly little pickle. Carrot appears in the kitchen looking flushed, an expression on her face you haven't quite seen before. Bubble buddy, it's so good to see you. You're looking positively shiny today. You could be wrong, but it seems like her LCD screen is giving you a come hitter look? What? Plankton wanders into the kitchen looking triumphant. I tell you, Bubble Buddy, well, that bubble sandwich, it's going to the secret. It's going to the secret to our success. Okay, because I'm like, can I not read? With her bubbles and my charisma, intelligence, and masculine presence, I have a feeling this company is going to start going places. Sheldon embraces you, excited as you feel your pulse accelerate. Time slows down and waves of adrenaline pulses through your body. His touch somehow feels like home. And after a few moments, he pulls away looking flushed. You heard a clatter and turned to see Karen hastily leave. Karen, wait! He pulls away looking flushed. Okay, I have to go, but make as many of those bubble burgers as you can. The future of the chum bucket depends on you. Time to start working. You feel tired, but you keep going. You keep nodding off, but you keep thinking about Sheldon and Karen. What? Pine and grindstone, contemplate if you're okay. I'm gonna look away and just I don't know which one I clicked. You try to focus on Shum, but you can't. I think I'm okay, bisexual. I think I'm into couple. That's really bad at cooking. I am into short kings. I'm into robots. I'm gonna just choose the couple one that's really bad at cooking. You're so distracted that you don't notice that the puddle of bubbles and chum have pooled on the floor in front of you. Chef Bubble, watch out! You'll slip. Will you fall on Sheldon or Karen? I feel like I'll kill strong robot torso, warm green embrace. I want plankton. Feeling once again that the burst of light mechanistry clasping to your arm. Suddenly you feel something. What? No! You crushed him, my beloved, my heart, my soul, my green little guy. Leave us, Bubble. I need to tend to his wounds. Leave us, you Bubble. Ignoring his desire to hold them both, you leave Sheldon and Karen be. Oh, Sheldon. That was a long day. Time for bed. I have no idea what's going on. Into the chum bucket for another fruitful day of labor when you notice Karen and Sheldon waiting for you in the lab. Hello, Bubble. We have much to discuss. You pull up a chair. Moon seems dire. To be frank, business isn't great. We only had a customer-centric arrival. It's more than we've ever had survived, though. Yeah, honey, but despite the progress, we're not able to pay our bills. I can't let Eugene humiliate me. Maybe we should just give up. No, Chef Bubble, you're going to steal the secret formula from the Krusty Krab. It's an impossible mission, but we believe in you. Pookie. Pookie! Ballin'. Karen and Sheldon give you a quick before sending you off. Discreetly gives you a slap on your. Oh, okay. Okay. Enter the Krusty Krab, ready to pull off a smooth hoist and broad. Is that supposed to be Squidward? Locked door where the formula supposedly held. The disgruntled Squidward, meaning is manning the cashier. Attempt to use your bubble to lockpick the door. Safe Squidward looks like you fed up. You decide to ask him for the key. Maybe he'll just give it to you. Can I have the key, man? Yeah, sure, whatever. Just to stop bothering me. He hands you the key and you just open the door to the safe. Well, that was easy. You cover up your tracks and return to the chum bucket without any suspicion. You're already back? Did you get the secret formula? Present the pristine formula with the narky and a scratch on the bottle. Looks like our little handsome thief pulled it through again. The couple stares at you lustfully and then clear they are buyer capability. I didn't think it was gonna pull out to be one of these. They reach out for a sloppy kiss, but then realize that you're off the clock. Time to return home. That was a long day. Time for bed. Enter the chum bucket once again, excited to see what awaits. Looks like our favorite employee just showed up. They have. I can spot that Bubble Mooney from a mile away. The couple simultaneously bites their lips. Anyways, we're hoping to open this up together as a throuple. What? Okay, presents a bottle containing the secret formula. You huddle together, squeezing your bubbles between Sheldon's bean-like figure and Carrot's sturdy frame. Let's pop it open. Sheldon opens the bottle and pulls out the formula inside. You all stare in awe. The secret ingredient is love. You all stare at each other, then start furiously making out. Beep boop error ecstatic overload. What the? Holy tartar sauce. Kiss me hard. Eventually, you manage to pull away for a moment and simply embrace the moment with your employees. It looks like you'll be staying at the chum bucket for a long time to come. Am I getting paid? I got a 3 out of 4. Ballin'. Anyways, that was bubble bonding. Everybody want bubble buddy. A 10 out of 10 game, I guess. They was wilding out at the very end, but you know. That was crazy. Alright, let's see this next game. Alright, this is the Krabby Chronicles. I don't know what to do with this game. Can I use my controller, though?
Mr. Krabs, come to the chum bucket so we can finish the deal. SpongeBob will try to stop you.
Why does he not have clothes? There it goes. So I gotta go to the chum. You decide to beat this awful game. Why? Try again, but why? I don't know.
Mr. Krabs, come to the chum bucket so we can finish the deal. SpongeBob will try to stop you.
That's all for real? I want to go to the ship. Oh, Lord. I died. I guess that's the whole game?
Mr. Krabs, come to the chum bucket so we can finish the deal. SpongeBob will try to stop you.
Bob and weave! Bob and weave! Where is his clothes? and weave. The Unity project. Okay. Hell no. SpongeBob took 40 Phantom drills. Play game. Well, is it gonna play or not? Oh. Can I use my control to move? Okay, well, SpongeBob walks mad slow. Oh, there's the Benadryl. Well, now it's all dark. Hello? I'm pressing every key. I'm not surprised this sucks if it's a Unity game. Man! Oh! Something is wrong. I assume this is what happens when you take all the Benadryl. Don't take Benadryl. Alright, how the hell do you get out of this game? Well, that was a bust. So we done the Krabby Chronicles, oh hell no, and then Super SpongeBob 2 is another one. Who could it be causing this such a ruckus at this hour? Hey, give that back. Save it, crabs. I know you still, but wait, how do I do the controls? There's like a whole setting that lets me use the controls. They fighting. Joystick method is fancier. Recommend final release game. On top of the game, open Steam. Add a game, non-same as a directory file. Arrow key. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. Thank you, Steven Hillenberg. Okay. How do we go back? Press start to skip. It's time for SpongeBob. Yeah, hi SpongeBob. Something to tell you. It was Alright, Mr. Krabs told me he wanted to see you. Kept telling me that it was important. You should see it. What's up? Okay, good luck, buddy. SpongeBob, me boy, I'm glad to see you're here. Our gold spatula, something Mr. Krabs, something bad happened. Man, this text's going a little too fast. Be careful, boys. Some areas are super dangerous. Don't want to see you hurt. Best of luck to you. Y'all remember when Mr. Krabs actually cared about SpongeBob? In some thing, I don't know, some sense he cared about SpongeBob, except when he sold him for like 62 cents. Oh, I gotta jump on the jellyfish? How do I get up there? Cause he could double jump, but... I mean, this is cool and all if I only knew, like, how the controls work. Okay, I get it. I thought he was gonna fight. Oh god, I cannot hit that. Okay. Oh lord! SpongeBob! I'm not used to the controls. Z is to jump and X is to... Okay. I mean, I think it's good for, you know what, whoever made this. Ah! I don't know if it's my keyboard though, if it's because it's small, but it's like cramping my hand. What is that? Maybe it's if I get hit? Ow! Oh, it's the Gary theme! Bob Esponja! The heck are DLC stages? Oh, I quit the game. But yeah, that was SpongeBob. What a bunch of nonsense.